Insights with Terri Ep.159 a weekly look through the eyes of predictive astrologer Terri Ep.159. Here's Terri.
Hi everyone, this is Terri, and you're listening to Insights with Terri Ep.159. Thank you for joining me for the week of March the 3rd through March the 10th, 2024. Let's look at what's going on for this next week coming up, and maybe just a little bit of what we can expect for the month. We're still in a Pisces energy field, becoming more Pisces as we start to sort of leave Aquarius behind. Aquarius giving us that creative energy, ability to think outside the box, trying to figure out situations and maybe problem solving in a very unique and different way. That is a skill that we need. Look around at the politics. But we can do that individually in our own life as well. So we should take advantage of that before it disappears completely. Now that Pisces energy, Pisces is a water sign. Being a water sign, it's fluid. And being fluid, we have some ways to bend it, to shape it. But it can also be, when I say very watery, it's hard to hold. So you can't really hold water in your hand. It'll drip through. It doesn't matter how you try. You might leave a little bit there, but it mostly is going to fall out. So it's hard to contain, which is kind of a good thing in some problems and some circumstances. But this is an energy field that can make some people, depending on what's going on in your life, a little scattered, a little flaky. We make mistakes. Good God, I'm the victim of mistakes lately, and I think I was concentrating. I don't know what happened there. We'll book the wrong times. We'll just do things that we either have to do over. This podcast is a really good example. It's the second time I've gone at it. Totally different from the first one. Just didn't change a button properly. Can't figure out how to use Alexa and get my playlist together. That kind of thing. Nothing terrible. Just inconvenient, and it helps us realize that not everybody else is stupid. Maybe we are too. And then that Aquarian energy moves into kind of a little bit of a coalescent, because it's in Venus, the planet of love and beauty and awareness and attractiveness, and it's also in Mars, which is our drive, our passion, what we'll really, really sell our soul for. But in Mercury, the planet of the mind, how we think, how we communicate, that is in Pisces. So we've almost a split in the first 5 planets. We're going to deal with the moon in a few seconds. So we're warring with one side, intuitive, wanting to let our feelings guide us, having these feelings that we can't put our finger on or understand. Why do I feel this way? Why do I not like that person? Why do I like that person? What's that person really trying to say? Why is it I'm hearing certain words, but I'm feeling something else? And that's what this Pisces energy is going to do for us. Now, if you're in a relationship and you're living with a Pisces, they'll be very in tune to what you're really thinking or what you're really feeling. So even though maybe you might be a little bit irritable or a little bit irritated and not say anything, thinking you're an amazing person, that's not the case. They'll feel it. So we can't really schmooze through as well as we did before. Just something to think about, that's all. Now, this irritability that I'm talking about, when we change energies the way we're going to and the way we're being pressured to right now, that can get unsettling. When we feel that unsettled energy, we may tend to redirect frustration, put it onto another person. I have been seeing this lately, and I'm sure I'm a victim. Not a victim of it, a perpetrator of it, maybe subconsciously or unknowingly. But as an observer of people, I sit back and I watch. And I've seen lately in clubs and gatherings where there's a person that might be frustrated with their life, and they redirect that frustration to their partner or to their clients. And yes, I have been. Yes, I have come to think about it, I have some apologies to make. Ew. So they redirect their frustration as a dog would. Dog's on the end of the leash, wants to go get another dog. Rah rah rah, pulling on the leash, trying to get away so I can tear this dog apart. And they can't get away. That owner, thankfully, is holding the leash, and then they turn and they eat or bite the other dog beside them. That you maybe have two dogs, or they'll turn and grab your leg. It's not that they hate you. It's not that they don't love you. It's redirected energy. Just like a guy at the bar, grab the guy, he's trying to fight, he'll punch you. So you've got to be careful when a person is really upset like that, where that energy is going to be directed. Will it be directed at you? This could be in the workplace. This could be in our relationships, our fun clubs. Just keep an eye on it. It's not, when I say it's not personal, it feels personal. But it's just redirected energy. It bites. I mean, if you get bitten by a redirected dog, it still hurts and you're still bleeding. But they didn't mean it directly to you. You get kicked by a horse that was trying to kick at the fly. It still hurts, but it wasn't meant for you. So take cover, because this energy, as we make that transition, can turn into frustration and redirected energy. And just be aware of it. Maybe this isn't yours to pick up and carry. Now, that Aquarian energy is independent as well. It's not the best place for Aquarius to be in Venus because it's an independent energy. So if we're trying to cultivate a relationship one-on-one, we may feel at times that we've been abandoned or they don't want us near them. And it feels difficult. It feels abandoned. It feels alone. So deal with your feelings. Maybe we are the learning part of that coin. Two sides to every coin. So we might be the learning part of that. So why do we feel when the person goes off and does something without us that we've been disked or we've been slighted or we're not cared for? Maybe they just didn't explain it the way we could have maybe received it a little bit better, or maybe they don't have manners. Maybe they don't care. Maybe it's sabotage. Maybe they're trying to upset you and distance themselves from you. Try to figure out where it's coming from if you can. The first part of the week, the very, very first part of the week, we may have a nice optimistic attitude, and I want to stay at the beginning of the week. I like an optimistic attitude, and that'll feel good and never say die kind of energy for a couple of days. Then we move into an energy that is more reliable, more owning of consequences and understanding that we're responsible. Health-wise, our joints may hurt. So this transition of energy can also often vibrate into a place that really bothers our joints. If you have arthritis, run for the hills. Be proactive. Look at foods that are anti-inflammatory, not just not inflammatory. You don't want to poke the bear, but anti-inflammatory may put you a little bit ahead of the game. Knees will be the first hit, then hips, thumbs, wrists, things of that. Your joints. If you have a bad neck, it's going to hit the neck. I can already feel it coming. My knees aren't the greatest. I pretend they are, but the truth is it's ow, 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 ow. And I can already feel it starting to build. Poop! Poop! I hate going down the stairs 1 foot at a time. Then towards the end of the week, it may move to our extremities. More the wrist, the fingers, the ankles, the feet, the toes. Not everybody is going to feel this. This is general, but generally this is what we can look forward to. So just be prepared. Glucosamine, chondroitin, turmeric. You might have some type of cream that you put on the joint that's particularly sore. It's going to hit the joints that are sore if you have a bad back. It's not permanent. It just is what it is. Then towards the very, very end of the week on Saturday, the 9th, the moon moves into Pisces. So then we have Pisces in the sun sign. We have Pisces in Mercury. We have it in our place the moon, which is our emotional energy. So we could be a little airheaded at that time. Be prepared. that'll be hard. Scrambled brains, right? We might notice that in other people. They can't find their words, can't make a sentence properly, have no handle on how to put syllables together. It's going to be a little airheaded. But they're trying to get us into an energy field that lets us not look so much at the logic as much as the intuitive feeling. I watch my dogs, and during this time, they are much more in tune to me. They're always in tune to me, but this is dangerous kind of attunement. Every little move I make, every thought I take, they're ahead of me. So if I hadn't trained the dogs, and my dogs are very well educated, say if I've got one in, actually, it's a good example. I've got one in that came in on Tuesday from Washington, a kill shelter. And she has separation anxiety from here to Texas. It's the worst case of separation anxiety I have ever seen. You cannot keep her in a cage. She'll rip it apart. I mean, literally, wire cage, doesn't matter. Every cage I've had, even these heavy duty cages, she will tear the door right off. And I've, been trying to work with her. Can't keep her in a kennel. She'll rip the metal right apart. She'll just keep at it till all her teeth are gone. So basically, we're tied together, but she's watching my body language. So she knows when a client's going to come. Maybe the smell of the client pants or the client sweater that I'm wearing, because it's not my farm clothes that she sees me change my clothes. She sees certain things, like maybe I'm dusting or straightening up. So she's starting to clue in. Certain signs mean certain situations. Then she starts to panic. You can see the anxiety start to build. You can see her mouth start to pull back. You can see her ears start to flatten. Then what I do with her is I'll just start to work her a little bit. I'm teaching her to come when called, teaching her to sit, to down, to spin, to stay for a minute. So I redirect her with a little bit of work, taking her mind off of the possible scare. I'm sure it's very traumatizing being in a shelter, being torn from wherever she was, nobody knows, knowing that dogs are being killed, because they do. It was a high kill shelter. Most of them didn't get out. They had 48 hours. And they know. They know whether it's the smell, whether it's the energy, I don't know. Whether they read our minds, I don't know, but they know. So she got a pass. So you can imagine what she's going through on the inside. This is how we translate it to people. So I've been very careful to try to slowly take the cage. She's got to be in a crate at times, because not all my clients like animals, and they shouldn't be subjected to them. So I feed her in the crate. So I'm trying to take her mind and take a negative situation and turn it into a positive situation. So now the crate means food. And we had a beautiful experience this morning. She ran into her crate while I was getting dressed for the chores outside. She got in by herself, because she knew every time she gets in that crate, when I ask her to get in the crate, I throw food in the crate. So she got in the crate before I asked her to get into the crate to get the food. She's manipulating me. So it's starting to sink in. Now the crate can't be so negative as it was when it was first introduced, because she's volunteering, not being forced into it or told she has to get into it. So I'm noticing that. She's coming when called like crazy. She's doing it really, really well. So before it was, you're going to grab my collar. You're going to tie me up. You're going to do something I don't like. If I come to you, I'm going to get, it's going to be horrible. Well, now she knows if she comes to me, she gets liver treats. She gets salmon treats. She gets food. She gets a ball thrown at her. So I replaced a negative experience with a positive experience. We can do this with ourselves when there's something that we don't like. I'm not really fond of housework, but I love a clean house. It's obsessive with me because I live with so many dogs. I do not want people to think my house is dirty. So it's kind of gone weird. It's the other way. It's the opposite way. But I've replaced negative. I hate it. I want to be outside, play. I want to clean up chicken shit. I want to have my pitchfork and my wheelbarrow outside collecting eggs. I don't want to go and dust and wash a floor. I can wash the floors in the barn. So I've replaced it with music where I dance while I'm playing it. I'll do things that I make fun ish with the housework. But I also focus, like really consciously focus on the end result. And the end result is a clean house, which I love. So while I'm cleaning, I'm concentrating, not on, oh, I hate cleaning the floors. Oh, look at the grout. I've got to scrub that. Oh, look at that. There's a dirty paw on the door. Got to get that. I'll look at, oh, look at how clean that is now. Oh, look at how shiny that is. That looks so nice. So if we change our attitude of things, we can change how we let them affect us. And that's what this energy that we're living with right now, the new moon coming up on Saturday in Pisces, on the night, it's actually coming up on the 10th, technically. That's new behaviors, new thoughts, new approaches to things. So we have all of that wonderful opportunity being thrown at us. The number 6 was paired for us with this energy. Number 6 is about making choices. So isn't that amazing? Number 6 and all the planets where they are making choices. Of course, it's necessary to make the right decisions. We want to, especially in the face of emerging opportunities. We want to make the right choice. There are few people that make bad choices on purpose, I swear, or maybe they're incapable. I don't know. Haven't figured it out yet. Have done a lot of observing, but I cannot figure it out. Maybe it's not something that can be figured out. But I think most of us really would like to make the best choice for ourselves, for the people around us, for our future, for their future. And number 6 helps us identify the choices. Now, the cool thing is that when I pulled some cards for you guys, the card of the Lovers, which is number 6 in the Major Tarot, came up. Yay! Look at the synchronicity of this. Number 6 and the card came up, and I pulled that number. I did numerology, like I think on Wednesday, and this is Sunday. So there we go. Like, look at synchronicity. So some of you are going to be faced with choices that are around opportunities, and really a choice is an opportunity, isn't it? And they will help you make the right choice. Romantic relationships, family, home are going to be the foundations for success with number 6. Helping others is going to be key to getting our mind straight, our energy in a good vibrational sequence, and making good choices for ourselves. A partner will be something that we require or want or long for. Here's the problem. We'll want a partner who meets our expectations. That's great if we have realistic expectations. I cannot tell you, how many clients that came this week that I asked them, just because it was getting lopsided, what are your expectations for a new boyfriend? A lot of the young people didn't know what beau was. That's how old I am. And their expectations were ridiculous. It was ridiculous. I mean, they'd have to be freaking dating Christ, and even he would have fallen on his nose, done a face plant. We have to be realistic. You know, people are people. We make mistakes. Things happen. So we have to make sure that our expectations are Pisces, fluid, flexible, compromising, the ability to see through, to see around, to understand. There's going to be some opportunities for some of us, not all of us, to be successful in our love life because of the way we're changing our thinking, our marriages, our friendships, our bonding situations. But again, and I can't say this strongly enough, our ability to be willing to compromise, not give ourselves away. I'm not saying that. I'm saying to compromise, to even compromise with our own expectations, meaning a person's failed us. We then have to realize we can't keep doing this. We have to compromise and say, you know what, I can't keep this relationship. This is not tenable. I can't do this. This isn't working for them. They don't know it. It's not working for me. So that compromise may be just saying, I'm going to change my thinking. This has got to die. And I'm going to have to be the one that kills it. So sorry. So that's something that we do have to look at. Health will be important. Looking at health, understanding health. This is our only vehicle. Let's change that oil. Let's change the spark plugs. Let's get those tires rotated. Let's clean her up in detail. We need to look at our health. We're being offered the opportunity to self-heal with the Pisces turning into Aquarius, and that new moon, new behaviors, new ways of approaching how we treat our body. All of that's going to be really important. The emphasis in the next little bit will be on the material side of things. So, that being the case, we can't go overboard. We have to maintain balance so we don't get too materialistic and caught up in mundane things. That's going to be really important to take that into consideration. So on number 6, we'll do this with the planets the way they are. Give us purpose in challenges. So the challenges show us a purpose to strengthen ourselves, to check our determination, to clarify what's good, what's bad. I've had some horrible situations come up. And in the end, I am so glad, so very glad that they did, because they've turned into the best thing that ever happened to me. I lost a job that I loved and cherished. It just faded away. And I thought, oh, this can't get worse than this. And it turned into the best opportunity I had ever had and changed my life. But if you'd have told me at the time, I could never have believed that. The weakness of number 6 with the planets is hesitation, like so hesitant that we lose the window, restlessness, and intolerance. Perfection, that desire for perfection, and irritability. So be very, very, very careful of that. Alrighty, you got your hands full, kids, but it's going to be a good week. You have the chance to let it be a good week. I want to say thank you so much for Charlie O'Brien's attention to putting these podcasts up on Spotify Podcasts, Apple iTunes, Amazon Music Podcasts, SoundCloud, and YouTube. He will give me the link when I finally get my job done properly, and I will put it up on Facebook for you for YouTube. Thank you again so much for your time, and visit the website if you want to see the archived podcast that Charlie O'Brien has put up at www.terriworld.com. If you would like a reading for yourself or you want some help with your dog, give me a text or call 519-726-6699, or you can email me at terri.coutts@gmail.com. Thanks for your time. Appreciate it. Thank you, Charlie, for being so patient with me and my Pisces energy right now. And everybody have a wonderful week and look at those lessons. Thanks, everybody. Bye for now.
Thanks for listening to Insights with Terri Coots. Visit Terri's website at terriworld.com. TERRI world.com.